How you
All
doing?
right, Herb Stratford, KMSB, KOLD, Tucson, Arizona. Hey guys,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So let me just start by saying you've got such a killer cast. So what was that like when you guys assembled this cast, and were you like, oh my gosh, we got Gandhi flying the plane? I mean, it must have been pretty cool to have these guys.
It was, and really, it's this kind of a movie is tricky in a way because uh, if you have really big stars in certain roles, then audience is going to automatically say, well, they can't die because they're not going to kill so and so, and so you want to kind of find the balance, and I think that we were fortunate enough to really find great actors for every role, including one of my favorite characters, which is Becky, who is this grandmother who was an Australian actor who hasn't acted for 20 years, used to be a star in her youth. Then for 20 years, nobody gave her roles. And then we sort of rediscovered her, and she became my sort of Shelley Winters, if you will, in my story. And I absolutely adored her. But everybody, and considering that Sir Ben Kingsley is not a young man, and now I have him in a cockpit of a plane that is on a hydraulic platform that makes the whole cockpit shake and swing around and do crazy things, and then go underwater, to a point where he's neck deep in water for several days. Those are physically challenging conditions, and you really need to have actors who are willing to do all this physical stuff and have the depth to really make these characters come alive. And I was really fortunate to have them.
So Gene, were you real hands-on with this film? Were you around? Were you on set? Were
No,
you getting wet?
no, there are different kinds of producers. Most people don't understand the process. There are exec producers, associate producers, and all that, and everybody tries to help lift the heavy weight. There are line producers. A line producer is there on the set, but they're not so much about the shape of the big vision. They are there to help make things happen. The food truck comes in, the transportation. They are responsible for the production of the online stuff. And then you've got associate producers. Some are deal with agents and stuff like that. And then invariably, and other big words like gymnasium, there are these other kinds of producers that get first position producer credit that are responsible for money, the body politic, things like that in the background. My introduction to the film is a few years ago. It started with the script. Renny and I found each other together at the Cannes Film Festival years ago. Was it 2 years or 3 years
Three
ago?
years. 3 years.
3 years ago. In that time, he had 3 babies. He made 3 babies during that time. It's crazy. And movies take a long time. And you just never know if you got a great script. It starts to attract the right people, creative people, cinematographers, and so on. Invariably, money says we're interested if you got the right elements. Then, if you're really lucky, against all odds, Sir Ben Kingsley, who's been knighted Sir by the King of England, as well as the Academy Award for Gandhi. You don't have Aaron Eckhart. You don't have quality on that part unless the script is great. But they will not commit, even if you give them their fee. Everything's great, ready to go, because they want to know who the director is. Because everyone and everything in a movie depends on the vision of the director. That's Renny Harlin. And it's an interesting thing about direction I've seen from afar, and that is that there are things in a movie that are never written down on the script. Something about the vision, you have to know which performance, how it works. It's like this kind of three-dimensional or quantum physics puzzle that they have to put together. They have to see it in their minds before it's done, so that when you watch it, it's flawless. You just go, and the emotion, the range, if you've seen the film, the range of funny, scary, angry, like all the range of human emotions, and against the backdrop of just crazy stuff, a 60, 70-ton steel flying instrument with 300 people in it, and more sharks, there's more action thrill a minute than any movie I've seen, and it's great.
Well, congratulations. It's a wild ride. I think you guys, I hope you get to work together in the future because I think you're onto something here. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let's cut, please.